3 years ago, the largest weight loss experiment in American history began. For 3 years, one show has brought you the awe-inspiring stories of overweight Americans and how they overcame all odds to transform their bodies and their lives forever. There's the working mother of 2.
I don't want my kids to remember me at this weight. I don't want them to grow up and think that it's okay to be heavy.
The high school teacher who made time for everyone except himself.
I don't like what I see. I see a person who didn't like himself, a person who let life run him.
They faced the biggest test of their lives.
Ma'am, you want to go home?
You gotta be kidding!
I know it hurts, but I am saving your life right now.
And through it all, they lost more weight than anyone thought possible. Tonight, America's weight loss show is back, and 9 former players will face the scale one last time to answer the one question on everyone's minds. Did they keep the weight off? We'll reunite you with some of the biggest winners in Biggest Loser history and some of your all-time favorite players. You'll see who maintained their amazing weight loss. Plus, you'll get an exclusive sneak peek at the upcoming season starting next Tuesday night that you won't get anywhere else.
Run, 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 run!
Keep up with Neil. Go.
Don't you dare patronize me!
And later, one former player will get the surprise of her life in front of all of America.
Will you marry me, baby?
You'll meet some of the new players who will battle to become the next Biggest Loser. They started their journeys like this and finished looking like this. What do they look like today? Find out right now on The Biggest Loser.
Welcome, everyone, to The Biggest Loser. Did they keep the weight off special? I'm Allison Sweeney, the new host of The Biggest Loser, and I would like to thank you all for joining me in the new Biggest Loser gym. Tonight, we will reunite with some of the biggest losers of seasons past. We'll find out who's fallen in love. We'll meet the first ever Biggest Loser baby, and we'll answer the question that's been on everyone's mind. Did they keep the weight off? That's right. In addition to our players reuniting with each other, they'll also reunite with another old friend, the Biggest Loser scale. It's time to check in on our first player. You watched him make an incredible transformation last year, and tonight, he's got some pretty unexpected news for us and for one of the other players here. So let's see what he's been up to.
When I came to The Biggest Loser, I weighed 365 pounds. When I see old pictures of who I was, I don't like what I see. I see a person who didn't like himself, a person who let life run him. Since leaving The Biggest Loser, I've decided to pursue fitness as my career. I'm a personal trainer, teaching people and giving back what I've been given.
Let's go, guys.
If somebody told me 5 years ago you're gonna be a personal trainer, I would have said, what am I gonna train sumo wrestlers to eat? I couldn't have ever envisioned training people to lose weight and better their lives. Amy and I met on the show, and lo and behold, we were teammates. Now we're dating, and we're as happy as can be. I used to look in the mirror and say, you're a failure, you could do so much more. Now I look in the mirror, and I see someone who's living his life to the fullest.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marty!
Thank you. My God, this is great. How's it going? Thank you. Gosh. How are you? Good.
Have a seat, have a seat, please.
Wow.
I have to just cut right to it.
Okay.
You have some exciting news for us. Can you please tell us what it is?
I'm a little nervous, but my exciting news is that tonight
right here, I'm going to be proposing to my lovely Amy Hildreth. Right here, baby. Good.
Crackle diamond, look at how beautiful this
It is beautiful. I want to give her the best.
So gorgeous. I've never seen a ring like that. That is beautiful.
It is beautiful. All right, well, take your hands off. Yeah, nice. It was nice while it lasted there.
Okay, just remember, we have her hidden away so she has no idea that this is coming. So everyone help us keep that secret, okay? Now, the proposal is one of the main reasons you're here, but there is another reason. America wants to know, did you keep the weight off?
Okay.
Time for you to get up on that scale.
All right.
Marty, your starting weight a year and a half ago was 365 pounds. Your current weight is 240 pounds.
125. I like it.
Marty, you kept
Stick
up
with it.
125 pounds.
Yes, 125 pounds.
Thanks, Marty. When we come back, more players will face the scale, and later on, we'll show you scenes from the upcoming season that you won't see anywhere else. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Eric weighs in one final time. Last year, he started at 407 pounds and lost an astonishing 214 pounds. Did he keep the weight off? See for yourself next.
Welcome back to The Biggest Loser. Did they keep the weight off? All right, we have another player to introduce you to. He won the title of Biggest Loser last year. And while he was on the show, he lost more weight than anyone ever in Biggest Loser history. 214 pounds. Let's see how he looks now.
Before being on The Biggest Loser, I was in denial of how heavy I got. My scale at home couldn't tell me what I weighed. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. I felt so desperate. After losing all this weight, all of these things fell by the wayside. My cholesterol is normal, my blood pressure is normal, my diabetes is in control. I'm healthy now.
My initial reaction when I saw Eric was like I was looking back in time. I saw someone that I haven't seen in such a long time.
Oh my God! Oh my God, Eric!
With my little girls, there's a lot more I can do nowadays. I have to say I wasn't the most active dad. Now I'm all about that with them. I feel like I'm a better dad and a better husband. I'm not just sitting there watching them run around. I'm playing with them, and that's priceless.
Please put your hands together for Eric!
How are you? Can I get a hug?
Yeah!
How you doing?
Have a seat. Wow. Eric, that is a tremendous success story.
Thank you very much.
When you first joined The Biggest Loser, you actually owned a deli, and you said that that was difficult for you because there were so many temptations. How did you deal with it once you won and went home?
Well, it was very tough. And it wasn't just the temptation. I was on a diabetes campaign, speaking to people, and I was just on the road so much. It was like time to sell the deli and be able to focus on working with people that were like me, morbidly obese. And I just see these people, and my heart goes out to them. I want to help them any way I can.
That's a great story. Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here and sharing your story with us. But we did bring you here because we wanted to answer the question that America is dying to know. Did you keep the weight off? Time for you to get on that scale. Eric, 18 short months ago, your starting weight was 407 pounds. Your current weight is 231 pounds. That is 176 pounds that you have managed to keep off.
Great, I'm thrilled. I mean,
Well, congratulations,
Thank you very
Eric.
much.
It must be a wonderful feeling.
thanks.
So far, we've met two people who have embraced the healthy habits that they learned on The Biggest Loser and changed their lives forever. But they didn't do it alone. Please welcome trainers Bob Harper and Kim Lyons.
Oh, sorry.
While you're sitting here, I'm sure America would love to have some tips from both of you on how to get in shape and how to eat right. Kim, you have some dieting tips for everyone?
You know what, America, knock it off with the diet soda. It's so important to stay hydrated, and drinking water is one of the most simple things you can do. And all these diet sodas, so many of them have caffeine in them. Caffeine is actually a diuretic, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So drink water. It's that simple.
Okay, what are your tips for America?
Fitness tips. I'm all about yoga. I think that yoga and the meditation part, that's working the mind as much as I'm working the body, because I think people tend to just want to beat themselves up so much all the time and just like, it's never good enough and just like push, push, push. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's just relax and move on from
Deal.
there.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your tips with us. We look forward to hearing more of their secrets during the upcoming season, and we'll get a sneak preview of the upcoming season premiering next Tuesday at 8/7 Central. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Pete steps on the scale one last time. 2 years ago, he went from 401 pounds all the way down to 216. Did he keep the weight off? Find out next.
Welcome back to tonight's big reunion on The Biggest Loser. Did they keep the weight off? Our next player is a hardworking mother of two who everyone remembers and loves from last year. Let's see what she's been doing since her time on The Biggest Loser and how it affected her life.
My life before Biggest Loser was very sedentary. I would work sitting down for 12 hours a day, and then I would come home and in turn sit down for another 3 hours and watch TV. Would go eat fast food and come home and watch TV, and it led me to 250 pounds at 26 years old. I think that if I had never been on The Biggest Loser, there would have been a lot of things in my life that I had missed out on. Because of The Biggest Loser, I realized how bad my health was and how important it was to really take charge of it. My life has definitely made a 180, and things look so much brighter and so much happier from this point on. I can't thank him enough for giving me my life back and giving me my kids' lives and my husband's lives a much healthier, happier start.
Have a seat. Oh, I hate that picture. But you must feel good looking at it now, looking at you.
I feel amazing. Absolutely amazing, yes.
Well, you spent 67 days on the ranch before you were eliminated. 67 days away from your family. How different was your life when you got home?
Absolutely. My husband and I came home and he had cleared everything out of the pantry, and I said, oh my gosh, you've been starving our babies. What have they been eating? He said, I didn't know what you were allowed to eat. He's like, I just got rid of everything. So I was like, oh, you know, all worried about, you know, him taking care of everything. And my husband and I just finished a triathlon this summer. We trained for it together, and he's really been my saving grace. He is a support in every aspect of my life.
Wow. Obviously, you look fantastic, but we want to answer the question that everyone in America wants to hear. I'm sure you've heard it a million times ever since you were on the show. Did you keep the weight off? Let's get you up on the scale. Pam, you started the show 18 months ago, and your starting weight was 247 pounds. Your current weight is 187 pounds. That's 60 pounds. Congratulations, Pam. Thank you. Our next player came to the Biggest Loser Ranch 2 years ago with a host of medical problems, and he hit the scale at over 400 pounds. His transformation was nothing short of amazing. Let's have a look.
At the rate that I was going, I was cutting 16 years off of my life. You know, I was pre-diabetic, high blood pressure. My resting heart rate was just through the roof. The Biggest Loser really saved my life. Since coming back from the Biggest Loser Ranch, I've teamed up with a couple of different organizations. One is a group called Jazzy Cats. You want to go extra time? Yes, that's what I like. They target young kids in order to help them get started on the right path to nutrition and exercise so they never really become overweight. I brought some of my old clothes, and there's still plenty of room. I've got an adult exercise group that I work with. They've got all the bad habits that you could have, and I'm working with them as well to try to get them to turn around and do the right things from here on out. Is that everybody?
I'm very proud of Pete for everything that he's accomplished. I remember when Pete came home for the first time, I was just stunned. You sound good.
Yeah, I feel real good.
It just made me proud to see him lose that much weight. I knew he could do it.
Please welcome Pete. Wow, you have definitely embraced your new life.
Yes, absolutely. It's a new life, and I have embraced it. Absolutely right.
When you came on the show,
Yes, ma'am.
you and your wife were very close and
Absolutely.
are very close,
Yep.
and she made a commitment to you when you
Yes.
left. Tell me about that.
You know, she said that there's no way I was going to come back slim, and she not be slim when I get back. So she dedicated herself to losing weight, and she immediately lost 30 pounds while I was away at the ranch, just by hitting the treadmill each and every day. And so she's just a great support and a great teammate.
Well, I think we would all like to say hello to your
Yes,
teammate. Let's
my
meet
queen.
Pam. So what kind of tips did he have for you, Pam?
Well, the first thing we did, we went to the supermarket to learn about labels. Pete and I were in the supermarket for 3 hours just learning about labels, how to count calories. We learned about calories in, calories out. So it wasn't a matter of you couldn't eat this food, you just had to put it in your calorie bank and know how many calories it was and how much exercise it took to work it off. And then after that, it just became kind of easy to do.
And you've been living that way ever since?
Ever since, absolutely. When I went home, you know, I was just so pleased at all the weight that I lost when I went home. I thought I looked great, and then, you know, we went to Chicago, I took pictures, and then I look back at that now, I was 318 then, you know, and so who knew that I would have so much more to lose? It was amazing.
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Because now is the time to
All
answer
right.
the question everyone
Yes.
wants to hear.
Which is?
Did you keep the weight off?
Excellent.
Get up there.
Allison, I have to do this the way that we used to do it on the ranch.
Oh, thank you. And we still do it that way. Pete,
Yes, ma'am.
2 years ago, your starting weight was 401 pounds. Today, your current weight is 2. You have kept almost 160 pounds, and you have some proud trainers over there that can't wait to give you a hug. When we come back, more players will face the scale. Plus, we'll show you scenes from the upcoming season that you won't see anywhere else. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Poppy lost an incredible 117 pounds as one of last year's at-home players. Did she keep the weight off? Find out next.
Welcome back to The Biggest Loser. Did they keep the weight off? Last year, there were 50 players, one from each state, who competed all across America to lose weight and transform their lives. Even though our next player wasn't picked to stay on the ranch, she still lost over half her body weight to become the Biggest Loser's first at-home champion. Take a look.
When I started the show, I was a whopping 232 pounds. My weight was my fear of success. I put my weight in front of me to give myself the reason why I wasn't successful. Since The Biggest Loser ended, I do 6 to 9 hours of cardio a week, and I always do about 2 to 3 hours of strength training. A lot of times I do DVDs. I do all sorts of Thai boxing. I am probably single-handedly keeping a lot of these aerobic DVD companies in business. As a comedian, I had a lot of material about being a big girl. When I lost my weight, all of a sudden, I have to make myself into a comedian that is not just about my weight. I enjoy the heat because people get sweaty, and I enjoy salt, so I kind of like, casually just see people and be like... The thing that I took from this whole experience of being on The Biggest Loser, why not give yourself the best opportunity to live the healthiest life you can? Yeah, wow, look at her. She ate Manhattan.
Who is that?
I don't know, but she's a monster. Yeah.
Poppy, you look fantastic.
Thank
It is
you.
amazing how much weight you lost. And
Thank you.
even more amazing than that is that you did it all by yourself.
Yes, I did.
How difficult was that? How did you learn the tricks you needed?
Honestly, what I learned to do is actually just put these blinders on and just start going and not finish until I stopped. And that's kind of what happened. I didn't look up until I was done losing weight. My mother, actually, I went to surprise her when I was almost down at the end. I was like a size 4. So I showed up at her work, and the elevator doors opened, and she was on her way out. I was on my way in. She looked at me and just went, hello. Like, she didn't even notice. She didn't know who I was. She just looked at, hello. I said, hi, Mom. And she went, oh, my, and jumped like 6 feet in the air. She's 60. And she looked at me, she said, you scared the pants off me. Who are you? I don't even know this woman. And sometimes I wake up in the morning and I go like this. Okay, all right, I'm fine.
Well, we come to the most important moment.
Yeah, spandex on national television.
And here comes everybody. Did she keep the weight off?
What's that?
Get up there. Poppy, a year and a half ago, your starting weight was 232 pounds.
Ew.
Let's find out what your current weight is. Up next, we have another comedian, a fan favorite from the first season. Let's see what she's been up to.
When I was growing up and you're in gym class, you were either an athletic kid or you were an unathletic kid. And if you were unathletic, they just didn't spend a lot of time with you. The show really made me realize that there might be an inner athlete in there. No one had ever pushed me like that before. Since being on Biggest Loser, I hit a major plateau about a year ago. I'm like every other typical American woman in their 30s. I'm trying to lose that pesky last bit of weight. I watch what I eat, but it's really hard for me to take off weight. And I don't know if it's metabolism issues or what the deal is, but I found myself just making time for exercise, even if that means getting up at 5 a.m. and going for a quick run. I have to fit it in because it's part of the way I live now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Callie Mack.
Thank you.
Well, you are obviously a very busy woman with a full work schedule. You are traveling all over the country. How do you find time to work out?
I'm happy to say that it's 3 years this week that I went to Biggest Loser. And every single week for the past 3 years, I have worked out a minimum of 4 days a week. It's really kind of odd to find a home in a place where you were so scared to go. Like, I used to think, oh my God, I'm not going to the gym. Like, there's no way I'd go. Everybody's gonna look at me. I'm gonna be on the treadmill, it's gonna break in half. Like, it's these mortified feelings. And now I get in there and I'm like annoyed. If people are on their cell phone, I'm like, excuse me, there's no cell phones here. You're in my church, back it up. Like, I just, you just gotta choose how you're gonna live your life. And I wanna live my life fit and as an athlete.
Wow. Now we get to the fun part. Let's answer the question that I'm sure you've heard a million times. Did you keep the weight off? Kelly, 3 years ago, your starting weight was 223 pounds. Your current weight is?
I like how you smile when you say that. 223 pounds.
I'll smile bigger now. It's 160 pounds. You lost 63 pounds. When we return, you'll never guess who's back to face the scale. And later, you'll catch a sneak preview of the new season premiering next Tuesday night. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Wiley weighs in once again. Last year, he shed a remarkable 129 pounds. But did he keep the weight off? See what the scale says next.
Welcome back to The Biggest Loser. Did they keep the weight off? I would like to introduce a player who took what she learned at the ranch 3 years ago and spread the word to thousands of others across the country. Take a look.
My weight on The Biggest Loser when I first started was 215. I was not too happy with that. The Biggest Loser afforded me the ability to retrain myself and my nutritional habits. Since being on The Biggest Loser, I've been blessed with the opportunity to travel all over this country teaching people about healthy lifestyle and proper nutrition. Think about proper nutrition, eating what you want to, but just learn how to eat it better, learn how to tweak it. It's very important for people to understand that it's a lifestyle change that you have to embrace. Hey, look at me, never, ever, ever gets easy. I am just grateful to be on this journey.
Okay, so what was harder? Losing the weight on The Biggest Loser or keeping it off for 3 years?
The hardest part was actually losing the weight and, of course, dealing with Bob and pushing me to lose the weight. However, for me, it wasn't just about losing weight. It was about redefining and reuniting myself with me. Being able to find myself, who Dre was, who she stood for, and what she's going to be. After that, everything else just came very natural.
So let me ask you something. How often do you hear the question, did you keep the weight off?
All the time.
Dre, your starting weight 3 years ago was 215 pounds. Today, your current weight is 151 pounds. You have kept on 64 pounds for 3 years. Our next player was one of last year's runner-ups, and he's got a lot of heart, as you all saw. Let's see what he's been up to since he left the show.
Before The Biggest Loser, I weighed 307 pounds, emotionally just drained. I was existing. I wouldn't say that I was actually living. One of the biggest things that I've done, and one of the best things I've done after The Biggest Loser, I go around the country and I do workouts with people with intellectual disabilities.
10! Okay! Thank you, Chris.
Yes, a cook guy. He's the best. And I love him so much.
Chris is my best buddy. We just clicked and he really likes to work out. Chris is an inspiration for me because he was able to help me develop and create Wiley's workout. Having been on The Biggest Loser, I've been given my life back. I didn't win $250,000, but I won the opportunity to be able to affect other people positively. And that is truly a priceless gift.
Please welcome Wiley. That is an amazing story, how How did everyone that you work with react to The Biggest Loser, to your life change?
You know, it's amazing. People started to change their lives too, because it's just this massive effect that you have on people. You know, a guy in my office started smoking. You know, my family members are starting to lose weight. We're starting an office program where, you know, people are gonna work out with me during our lunch hour. You know, I thought I was gonna come on and make some friends and lose some weight. And you don't realize that the people that you affect, that have watched the show, you change, you know, their lives as well. And you're just like, I was gonna lose some weight. I was gonna make some friends. A friend of mine, Anthony Shriver, started Best Buddies a long time ago, and it was, you know, the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, I'm not in the Fortune 500 company, and, you know, the people that are my counterparts in what I do for Best Buddies, you know, they make a lot more money, but I do something that, you know, I love getting up to do every day. So I just think that it's the best thing that one can do.
So I have to ask you now the question that everyone in America has been asking all of our former Biggest Loser contestants.
Yeah.
Did you keep the weight off?
Well, I'm trying. I mean,
let's get you on and find out then.
All right.
Wiley, a year and a half ago, your starting weight was 307 pounds. Your current weight is 210 pounds. Wiley, you have changed your life, everyone's lives, and you've kept off 97 pounds.
Get off that scale.
Don't go away. There are more surprises to come, including a surprise that will change two players' lives forever. And later, you'll be getting an exclusive preview of the new season premiering next Tuesday night. We'll be right back.
Later, Marty asks Amy the most important question of their lives.
Will you marry me, baby?
Will she say yes? Find out. Coming up.
This is crazy. Goal on The Biggest Loser, but every so often, in between the workouts, something else happens to change our players' lives. I'm talking about romance. Right now, let's take a look at the first couple to ever fall in love at the ranch.
Our relationship didn't start right away when we met on the show.
We couldn't stand each other. She thought I was a mean jerk, and I thought she was annoying and was too happy. After the makeover show, which I had my little tantrum, and don't cut my hair, I love my hair. She cut my hair, and I felt like a different person. I started smiling more, and we just started spending more and more time together and talking on the phone, and it progressed from there.
We were supposed to go do an exercise segment on the Today Show.
Susie has no idea that our relationship's about to get a little closer, I hope. I've had this made for you. I'd like to give it to you and ask you to be my wife.
Yes!
People talk about having their fairy tale wedding or their dream wedding. We got ours. It was just one of the greatest days of my life.
So on June 23rd, 2007, Rex Timothy Hoover was born into our family.
Say hi, Rex.
There's a lot I love about my husband. We're a great team. We do everything together. And he's a really good dad.
It's very inspiring. Matt and Susie each lost weight, but they gained a soulmate. But they weren't the only ones. It's time to meet the woman Marty fell for after he left the ranch. You heard his side of the story. I think it's time to hear hers.
When I got to the ranch, I weighed 260 pounds. When I look back and see how big I actually was, I don't feel like that person was ever me. I didn't want people to know that deep down I was hurting on the inside. Now my body fat percentage is absolutely in a healthy range. I've learned what true confidence really means. If I had never been on The Biggest Loser, my entire life would be different. I have found true love. Marty is my soulmate through and through. And we just enjoy going through life together. Whether it's training people or spending time alone, we both have the same goal, just to be healthy and active and to live that life that we've always wanted to live. I think the future holds nothing but great things for us.
ask you, you went through this huge, life-changing experience with someone that you are now in a relationship with. What is that like? How did that affect your relationship?
Oh, it's just, we've seen each other at our worst, at our best. We met at rock bottom. And so it's so easy to walk hand in hand with him and work out every day with him and prepare meals. And I'm just lucky to have that kind of partner in this whole adventure, so.
Well, we have to ask for one final time tonight. Everyone's favorite question, did she keep the weight off? To get on that scale one last time.
Okay, cool. Get up there, all right? I don't miss this. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Amy, your starting weight was 260 pounds. Your current weight is...
Well, I wanted to bring you here in front of our Biggest Loser family to ask you something. But first, I do have a letter. Amy, you are the most incredible woman I have ever met. Your drive for life, sense of adventure, compassion, loyalty, bravery, strength, all these things make me want to be with you every day of my life. I came here to lose weight and I found my soulmate. I want to take care of you forever. And I wrote that to you, and tonight I just wanted to tell you that I want to keep that promise forever. And so I want to ask you.
No, this is crazy.
Will you marry me, baby?
Yes. Yes, I love it.
Come here, let me put this on you.
I'm shaking.
I'm shaking too, I know.
Let's hear it for the newly engaged Biggest Loser couple. Well, that is quite a finale to an incredible evening of personal triumphs, transformations, and surprises. But we have one more surprise left for you. We have just taken a look at the Biggest Loser's past. But I know you're all dying for a taste of what's in store in the not-too-distant future. Here it is.
Thousands of people have tried out in hopes of becoming the next Biggest Loser. This year, 18 have been given the chance to change their lives forever. There's Patty.
Several years ago, just a normal checkup, the doctors determined I had an elevated liver enzyme. I'm not going to be there for my kids, and I have to take control. It's something that I can do, and I think that they'll be mad at me when they're burying me, and I'm not there because I didn't take care of myself.
Jerry.
I'm a retired firefighter. I've let myself get a little overweight, almost 300 pounds. I'm 62 years old, but I want to have my children and grandchildren not only see me live, but have me do things with them.
Holly.
I am a teacher, high school English, and I am a cheerleading coach as well. I think the first major comment happened when I was like 10. This boy, like for no reason at all, called me a fat pig. You remember every comment that people say to you about your weight.
B.
I really think that I'm a handsome guy, but if I like strip down and look at myself honestly, it's like it's a shame that I let myself get this far. My mother has multiple sclerosis. I think I self-medicated with cooking, just dealing with my mom not being able to do certain things. You know, sometimes it feels debilitating to know that, you know, I let myself slip.
And Leslie.
You know, I'm from New Orleans, and I suffered a great loss with Hurricane Katrina.
I thought it would have been better off if I would have went with my house.
I started eating a lot after the storm. I mean, you feed the pain. I have a 15-year-old son. I remember my parents sitting me down saying, "You're going to have a young life because of my weight." And I thought about Adam and not being there to see him.
Next week, TV's most inspirational show returns with its biggest season yet, with the biggest challenges.
There's no way our team is going to make it all the way up to the top.
The biggest results. And the biggest twist ever. 6 players think they're being sent home.
Just felt like one more rejection.
But their journey doesn't end there.
Who is that?
You're my black team.
That's right. Jillian's back, and this time, she's out for revenge.
Hit her harder, make her cry. I expect nothing less than revenge. Do you understand me?
Watch as she whips her team of outcasts into shape.
Get up now.
Jillian's workout is lunacy.
Beatings, 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 beatings.
And then pits them against red and blue to even the score once and for all.
Oh, hell no!
This year, there are 3 teams, 3 trainers.
You will not doubt me.
Allow your trainer to push you.
You don't want any more excuses.
But only one biggest loser. And this time,
This is your last chance.
it's personal.
Don't you dare patronize me! I said I cannot run! Do you got it?
So far, the biggest loser has helped players lose over 6,500 pounds. But America's Weight Loss Show is just getting started. Watch as 18 new players struggle to transform their lives.
Quit! I won't do it, Jillian!
And battle to become the biggest loser. Starting next Tuesday at 8, 7 Central.